Magazine editor and publishing powerhouse Vanessa Raphaely has recently dropped her debut novel titled +1, tackling themes such as rape, misogyny and the fleshy celebrity life. Now, this page-turner will leave you on the edge of your seat as you follow the story of best friends Claudia, Hemingway and Lassiter on a glamorous weekend away that goes horribly wrong. Let's not give away much and welcome Vanessa, who joins us now from our Cape Town studios to tell us more about this offering. A very good morning to you, Vanessa. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's now first, I want you to take us through your journey which led to the birthing of your first novel.
Well, I left my big job a couple of years ago and thought that it was time for me to challenge myself, really. And I had never thought in my life that I would have the courage to write a novel because I am such a fan of good writing. And I never thought I could compete. But I did realize at 53 years old, which is as old as I am, it was kind of time to not listen to those kind of voices and just go for it. So I had, for the first time in my life, a little bit of time, and I gathered my bravery and remembered what life was like for me when I was in my 20s in London and in Hollywood, in New York, what it was like in the magazine industry, what it was like living with people who did work in Hollywood. And I just wrote it.
Yeah, and Claudia and Lisa are really at the center of this book, and you keep us on the edge as we follow their storyline. But without giving much away, how did you develop these two characters?
Well, they are typical of young women who have a particular kind of power. They're very beautiful, very accomplished, ambitious. But the kind of power that young women have is very limited in comparison to the power of really properly powerful men. So you're often told that as a young woman, if you are brave and beautiful, you have the power to get through doors or make doors open for you. But maybe people who are giving that advice forget that the gatekeepers of those doors are men, and the kind of men who get to positions of great power are not generally ones who are there because they're nice people. So Claudia and Lisa come across some very unpleasant people, one in particular. They land up on a yacht in the Aegean at a party with masses of drugs, a lot of music, loud music, dancing, a lot of misbehavior. Someone who really shouldn't die dies, and the events of that party haunt them for the next 10 years of their life.
Vanessa, you yourself have had a very long career in women's media. Has this perhaps played a role in how you capture the true essence of the female leads in the book?
Well, I hope so. And you know, they say writing, I think it was Kate Atkinson, the fantastic novelist Kate Atkinson, said as a writer you make imaginary fruitcakes but using real plums. So I've used information I've garnered over my long career and authentic and truthful information. And I think what a lot of people have said is I must have got revenge on people who treated me quite badly, because it's not the kind of book that holds any punches. It has a kind of gossipy, secret-sharing kind of sense to it as well. So even though I try to deal with very, very tough subjects, and the Me Too movement, and as you said, misogyny and rape are horrible, I feel it's written, I've been told it's written with a light touch.
And I suppose, Vanessa, so many people can relate to this book, more especially because it reveals the true nature of the darker side of Hollywood and what those that are hungry for a successful career in the industry can do to open doors for them.
You know, I think one of the characters in the book says you either have to be damaged to succeed in a very ambitious space like Hollywood, or it will damage you. That's a very cynical kind of hard attitude to have, I suppose. But I think there is some part of it. It takes so much out of you. And maybe I'm biased, but I think it takes more out of the women than it does out of the men.
And having written something that sort of takes us inside of Hollywood and the lives of the rich and famous, what do you make of the recent revelations or exposés? That's the hashtag #MeToo movement.
You know, I started writing this book 3 years ago, and it is about the Me Too movement, but it predates the Me Too movement. So I think whether you're in Hollywood or you're in Cape Town or you're in a corporate, I think these scenes and these relationships between men and women are familiar to all of us. It doesn't have to only happen at a glamorous Hollywood party or on a yacht in the Aegean. I think wherever there's an imbalance of power between men and women, the women are unlikely to come off better.
You also take us to some of the dreamiest and glamorous locations, from Los Angeles to Cape Town, the Greek islands to New York. Just how important were these locations in revealing the true nature of the rich and famous in the glamorous circles?
I think one of the interesting things is puncturing the kind of myths. I mean, we are told we're told to aspire to the lives these people have. We're told that they are something worth fighting for. And part of the fun, I think, was actually putting a pinprick in that balloon. I mean, it is a very cutthroat world. It's often filled with very insecure people, bullying people. So I think that's part of the fun, actually. And I hope it makes it entertaining to read as well.
Entertaining, I've got an idea that it is definitely entertaining, and it's also a beach book as we're heading for the holidays. And you're also an avid reader yourself. So what other books would you recommend to the viewers and your book readers?
Well, this year my absolute favourite was Tim Winton, the Tim Winton's Shepherd's Hut. Although no one could say it was an entertaining read. It's very, very hard, but he is just such a genius. And then, of course, there's a new Kate Atkinson out as well.
And what I love about this book is how you paint the imperfect picture of what we perceive as the glitz and the perfect celebrity and the Hollywood lives we see on TV.
You know, I had a very big boyfriend who was a very big noise in Hollywood. He was a producer, and I had another boyfriend who was an agent. And if you are the plus one of someone as powerful as that, you actually are invisible. And so I think as a journalist, all the time that I was in that space, I was just basically taking notes. So I wrote what I knew, and they do say that's what you're supposed to do with your debut novel.
Vanessa, you're the best. Thank you so much for chatting to us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, it's a pleasure. A weekend expected to be filled with fun, sunshine, champagne and partying goes horribly wrong. Well, that's the storyline in Vanessa Raphaely's debut novel titled Plus One. Now, this thrilling book is already available in all the major bookstores around the country. Well, you can also join us for our viewer book review slot. All you have to do is to send us some of the books that you're currently reading or have read. And by doing that, you can find yourself joining us live in studio for our Sunday book review feature to talk about some of your favorite books. All you have to do is simply to email, to Instagram or tweet us a picture and a relevant caption of your pick of the week, must read for 2018, your current read, and the one you're hoping was going to be great but turned out to be rather disappointing. Use our social media platforms. We are Morning Live SABC or hashtag Morning Live SABC on Twitter. On Facebook, we are Morning Live SABC. You can Instagram us using @Morning Live SABC or email us morninglive@sabc.co.za.